Hi, my name is Emily Takarian, and my issue for this project was on hydraulic fracturing. More specifically, my stance on this project is hydraulic fracturing will not negatively affect human health and the environment. Alright, so to get started, I would like to talk a little bit about hydraulic fracturing and the process that goes along with it. So hydraulic fracturing is a process where drilling technologies are used to retrieve oil, natural gas, water, and geothermal energy deep below Earth's surface. This process utilizes high-pressure water and sand mixtures to create small cracks within deep rock formations that hold highly valuable natural gases and oils. Some resources extracted through fracking are also called tight oil or tight gas, because these pockets of fossil fuels are tightly trapped in hard shale rock formations. By accessing tight oil and tight gas, technologies used in fracking are rapidly expanding, and natural gas production in the United States is also increased. This fairly short process has the ability to produce natural materials for years after the fracking well has been marked completed. Hydraulic fracturing has been successful in the United States since the late 1940s. Not only has fracking benefited America's economy by creating more jobs and reducing energy prices, but it also helps limit the amount of CO2 pushed back into our atmosphere. And this image just gives you a brief overview of what a fracking site typically looks like and everything that kind of goes down underneath the Earth's layers and how the drilling rig can access those gases in the shale formations. Alright, so moving on, what does fracking mean for our environment? As the United States pushes for cleaner energy, the hydraulic fracking process has become the favored method. Shale gas wells in the United States have increased, which means an increase in fracking sites. Some may be against the process due to environmental risks, but scientific research has been used to debunk some of these misleading claims. Policies have also been implemented as fracking increased to ensure proper safety measures are being continuously followed. To this day, coal-fired power plants are being used to produce energy in ways which negatively impact our environment. Gases produced from coal burning adds large amounts of greenhouse gases into our environment. On the other hand, gases produced from hydraulic fracturing are not only much cleaner, but can also help reduce the effects of climate change. According to the Environmental Protection Agency, otherwise known as the EPA, natural gas retrieval only generates half the amount of CO2 as a coal-fired power plant would. And in just 5 years, CO2 emissions went from 6 million metric tons to 5.3 billion tons. And then this visual just showcases previously what I have talked about the reduction in CO2 emissions, as well it gives a prediction of the next 50 years and what we will see our CO2 emissions decreasing. Alright, so moving on, what does fracking mean for our economy? So, the price of gas can get expensive, as we know in today's day and age. It can also get expensive when the harboring is done overseas. However, hydraulic fracturing in the United States has given us many opportunities to harbor oil and natural gases without the expensive costs. In the United States, hydraulic fracturing has decreased in natural gas prices by 47%. Additionally, as fracking has become more popularized, gas bills have also dropped $13 billion per year. And this image kind of showcases alongside how fracking has also benefited our economy in creating more American jobs, as well as how much economic output the U.S. has, as well as our annual federal, state, and local tax revenues. So many are concerned about what are the downsides to hydraulic fracturing. And studies have been conducted across the United States that have found that the hydraulic fracturing process has the potential to threaten our water quality, air quality, landscape changes, and even damages to circle ecosystems. However, risks to these areas can be prevented as long as the sites are well regulated, which is a very important factor. Regulation, no matter what type of energy or oil you're harboring, is very important to monitor in order to reduce the risks of something like an oil spill happening. So moving more into how hydraulic fracturing is regulated, environmental regulations play a big role in ensuring practices such as hydraulic fracturing are done safely. The Environmental Protection Agency primarily responds and monitors oil and gas development to prevent environmental contamination. Federal laws such as the Clean Water Act also regulate fracking sites to ensure the drilling wells do not endanger drinking water sources. The United States also has 6 additional federal safety acts that also prioritize the safety and prevention of further contaminating our earth with toxins. All 8 of these federal acts are direct stakeholders of hydraulic fracturing because they are involved throughout the entire process. If codes are not up to standards or contaminants are leaked, these federal acts have the ability to suspend further production. State oil and gas conservation laws have regulated hydraulic fracturing practically since it started back in the 1940s. All states require detailed reporting of hydraulic fracturing operations such as volumes and types of fluids used, as well as the nature and amount of proppants. Information is also reported on the well completion report and made a part of the permanent well record. States are responding to new technology and public concerns over the transparency by continuously updating their requirements for reporting chemical additive information and making this information completely available to the public. So, how can we fully benefit from hydraulic fracturing without any concern for risks happening? Well, some solutions could be that using cleaner methods would be a great route to go. So there are many ways to make the hydraulic fracturing process cleaner. For example, one way would be to use recycled water instead of fresh water during the drilling. This would help conserve fresh water and not induce as much water waste. Another great tactic would be to get rid of diesel-powered equipment. Currently, the high-powered equipment is what produces the high amounts of greenhouse gases. Switching over to natural gas or even solar-powered machinery would help reduce the amount of toxins being pumped back into the air. Another solution could be tighter regulations on these big drilling companies. Companies in different industries all around the United States have taken the pledge to go green. These companies, in order to go green, must prove to their stakeholders and consumers that they are as environmentally friendly as they claim to be. I believe the same standards should be held for big drilling companies. If they want citizens to feel comfortable about their drilling practices, they should be able to provide firsthand the steps they are taking to ensure safety. On the other hand, if they cannot provide proof of their practices and how they are safely regulated, federal action should be able to step in to halt production and restrict the land from gas drilling. And that is all I have for today. I hope you guys learned something and really saw how hydraulic fracturing has many benefits to not only our economy, but our ecosystem and atmosphere in the future for both of those. Thanks.